and picking up where I just left off. So I don't argue with folks. I don't care to argue with people. Like, if you are not near and dear to my heart, you got it. Or I'll say my little 2 cents, but otherwise you got it. Because I don't care. I don't care. Especially when I see that you're not communicating to understand. You're just communicating to argue, or you're just communicating to dismantle what I'm saying because you believe otherwise. At that point, it's like, you got it. It don't even matter for real, because it don't. So like I mentioned, I've basically gone, for the most part, no contact with this person because I don't do disrespect. I have years of messages and audios and recordings and witnesses to the blatant disrespect, disgusting name calling, petty jabs, just personal conversations. Like, at this point, like, after we're no longer, the only thing that we need to converse about would be the offspring and plans as far as they are concerned. Other than that, why are we talking? Especially since we didn't end on great terms. Because like I said, like, my life was threatened and I was kicked out of the global pandemic. There's nothing that you can say to me. Like, there's no conversation, nothing we need to talk about. We're good. I promise we're good. So when I left, they became their side of the story. It is now 2025. And do you know that any chance that they get, they still, like, when they're in communication with anyone that is near and dear to my heart, or friends that, not even friends, but people that they know now because of me, they still mention me to this day. We are now in the year 2025, and this person is still to people who don't care to communicate with him. Like, not to speak on anybody else's business, but it has become exhausting to the point where it's like, if he is to message or text or call anyone, you know, that's near and dear to my heart, they're like, what is it? What does he want to say now? Like, what case is he trying to plead now? Like, everyone is a bit exhausted and they feel low-key harassed at this point. Like, we don't want to hear anymore. Like, we're good. Take us off the group chat. Literally take us off the group chat. Okay. So yeah, in the dissolution, I was awarded a car, right? Car that they supposedly gifted to me. And that was one of those things. I packed up the car and I packed up, you know, some overnight stuff for the younger two, and I packed up the majority of my stuff for my older two because we weren't to return after we went to go visit my family for Thanksgiving. I knew that the younger two would be back and forth frequently, but I knew that my older two really wouldn't want to, and they want nothing to do with him at this point in time. They say hello if they see him because they were taught respect, but outside of that, they want nothing to do with him. They have seen too much, they have heard too much, and again, they haven't heard too much from my mouth, because sometimes they were present when the chaos was going on, or if they were on the phone and I'm being insulted, I'm being disrespected, I'm being lied on, they were privy to some of those things. And the last straw for them, the first straw, this is when it was the eye opener. So it was I want to say it was December of 2021. Note to self, remember to put your phone on D&D. Excuse me. Got a phone call and then the son decided to take a nap, but that's fine. Yeah, so December of 2021, I had come from traveling to go get the kiddos for the holiday. They were going to spend winter break with their family in North Carolina. And I did not let the person know that we had made it back. I think hours before I got back, I let them know, hey, my ETA would be so-and-so. And then I did not answer their phone call, but I did respond to their text. But because I didn't answer their phone call, I think they may have called me, don't quote me, maybe 2 times. Ooh, I think, because I went straight from the road, like driving 12 hours, to going to work, right? That was that. And no, I drove like 9 hours that day, and then had to go to work for my 8+ hour shift. behind the wheel of a 40-foot vehicle at the time. Anywho, the point is, I didn't answer their phone call. I didn't let them know that we had made it, but hours prior, I let them know, hey, we're on our way. Our ETA is whatever. And then I didn't answer their one call, and then they called me a second time while I was on my shift. And I did not answer, but I want to say that I texted them back. Or depending on, I've got a screenshot somewhere. The point is, however they communicated with me, I wasn't in a rush to communicate back with them. It wasn't a dire need. They didn't need anything. What else? Long story short, their claim was I hadn't heard from her. She wasn't answering my phone. So I sent the police to her house to do a wellness check. And he said because no one was answering the phone. Mind you, they have my mother's information, my stepdad's information, both my sister's information, and my 2 oldest children information meaning phone number. If you wanted to really find out anything and you sincerely thought that something was wrong and oh my gosh, did they make it back? I need to know. Then there are about 6 other phones that you could have contacted. And that's just in the state of Illinois. In the state of North Carolina at the time. You have access to my best friends, my sister friends. If you really thought that something was wrong, you could have used another phone number, but you called me twice and I didn't answer, so you sent the police to my home. And at that point, in December of 2021, about a year after, that's when I had to explain to my older children what was going on. And that's when my family was just like, enough is enough. You need to leave her alone. This needs to stop. You need to leave her alone. Not that he listened, but so that was that. And then fast forward with the car. I was awarded the car. They would not update the information on the car. So subsequently, I ended up having to leave the car sitting and parked in the apartment complex. And I had to get another car because I couldn't legally drive that car because the information hadn't been, like tags, registration, nothing had been updated since 2019. We are now in 2021. Although state laws were different, not state laws, but there were pardons and extensions during COVID. Nah, this is December of 2021. So, no, this is, the year 2021. So, spring of 2022, long story, fast forwarding. In spring of 2022, the car was towed. And when I called them, they said that it was because the car was sitting and someone tried to break into it because the car was sitting. And it was unsightly, so the apartment complex towed the car. Long story short, I could not go get the car because the car was out of my name. I had no paperwork on the car because although I had paid him the money to get things updated, he refused to get it updated. I kept insurance on the car. I kept the maintenance on the car until it sat and I couldn't drive it for almost a year. It got towed. He ended up coming down to North Carolina to get the car out of the tow yard after sending me nasty messages and repeated messages. And then he took the car. He says he took the car with him or shipped it to Illinois and he sold it. I never heard anything else about the car. Never really asked him anything else about the car because I'm not a materialistic person. I don't need it. When I left, I didn't ask for anything. There was not much to split, thank God. I you know how Michelle said, blame it on me, say what you want, but can it be over? Can we be done? Please? Can I go into the out now? Please? I feel like I say so much and then the time just goes to part 8.